Hi, I'm Julian Moses, and I'm going to show you why you can't clean with a dirty rag. So, what is rag? Well, that's what you're going to find out today. So, a few things you're going to learn here. How rag works, a painful story that I had, why GPTs aren't the solution you've been looking for yet, what bad rag looks like, and techniques to improve rag. So, first, let's start off with what rag actually is. RAG is basically a way that you can ask questions to a document. It's the simplest way to put it. Under the hood, there's a lot more stuff that goes on, but if you're just hearing it for the first time, that's how you think about it. So let's say you go to a chatbot and you ask a question. There's what we're going to call a smart retriever. It'll go into a knowledge base. It'll grab the correct information out, and then it'll give it to you in natural language text that's easier for you to read. So overall, what is RAG? It's basically taking text and turning it into a chat. It's like uploading documents and making them searchable via chat. The problem is that most valuable information isn't at the very top of any document. It's hidden somewhere in the middle, and it's generally harder to find. And currently, most documents aren't that searchable. They're hard to find. This costs people time, and time is the only thing that matters. So how should you think about RAG? This is like Google search for your personal data or for whatever data set you're looking at. It's a way to minimize hallucination where an AI system will just kind of go crazy and not really know what they're doing. So RAG makes information easier to discover from within a document. That's the easiest way to think about it. It's like when you look in a document, you can find whatever you need to find faster. So my pain. I worked with an educational website who wanted to make their material available via chat to the project with a group. The basic quality of RAG was fine. It lived on their website. We did a really good job just kind of getting the project done and getting it integrated. But it wasn't great. Basically, the answers were too long for readers, and we didn't think about evaluating how people were actually going to use the system. And so we have no way to really test exactly what was going on. That was our big problem. So we had a very dirty kind of RAG pipeline. Everything was out of order. There was nothing that was going on that was correct. So basically what I had to do is I had to go back to the beginning and understand how the thing works. How does RAG actually work? Basically what it does is it tries to calculate a distance between concepts. Now that sounds a little funky, but hear me out. The idea is that if you can model where a sentence is in a high dimensional space, that you can calculate the distance between that, and then you can actually see how far things are from each other. This goes back to high school math, and this is a cosine distance problem. You might remember doing these a long time ago. If not, you're lucky. So bad RAG is easy. You basically, if you want to do a bad RAG system, this is what you do. You choose a random chunk size, you add no metadata to the query, you only use a similarity search. You don't pay attention to what the user asks, and you really you don't focus on the chunk sizes and how to make the search space as small as possible to make sure that the answer quality comes out as high as possible. And you just throw random documents in that you think might be good. That's probably the most egregious of all these. So when you do that, you have this dirty kind of kitchen setup where nothing really looks the way it should. Now, to clean up what you're doing, you have to recognize one thing, and that is that not all documents are created equal. Not every document, a document is not a document is not a document. So good RAG is hard. Good RAG is time consuming, and you have to be really selective and you have to spend time. So here's how you do it. You have to be extremely selective with what content you actually choose. And that might involve rewriting or rephrasing something or taking something from a 5-page document and bringing it down to half a page, because you get rid of all the fluff and it makes the search and it makes the experience a whole lot better. Next, you generate and filter by metadata. So adding metadata means putting in a tag. So if something's about a dog, you put the tag dog and then you filter by that in your search. Retrieving short chunks and generating with long chunks. So basically what you do is you take the search space down, but you increase the context window. That's kind of like a very, very specific way that you can go in and change something and make it better. Next is you evaluate the user responses, both with humans and with GPTs. So what we do with humans is during the development process, we take a look and we just try and actually do some little fine tuning. And then with GPT, we run this at massive scale. So if we have 10,000 questions, we'll do 1,000 tests. And the big trick here is to test everything. Nothing goes untested in this environment. That's how you make a good RAG system. Finally, These things, like the hygiene here, is very important because it's actually what makes the system special and how you separate a good RAG system from an okay RAG system.